Hello. What's it been like? 4 days? 6 days? I put off recording last night because I wanted to get to sleep early. And that almost worked. Almost. I did get to sleep earlier, but not as early as I would have liked. 5 days ago, so not that bad. Now let's start off with I guess what has been happening these past few days, which in all honesty is not much. Nothing really has happened. Oh, never mind, I'm lying. So I last uploaded on the 29th. It's September now. Yay. With how much I've sort of held a disdain for school for most of my life, you'd think I'd also be holding a disdain or grudge against the month of September, but I don't think I've ever looked at it negatively. It's a lovely month, right? You get to experience the summer, like proper summer weather for a bit of it, at school. And I think, no, that would be October. I can never remember when Canadian Thanksgiving is, only when the American one is, because the Americans make such a spectacle of it, and it coincides with, like, people's birthdays and such, so I tend to remember that one and not the Canadian one. It's less of a big deal here, really, but I think it's in October. Not sure on that. Either way, when I recorded the last one, I was debating whether or not I should call in sick to work and, well, essentially slough off work to go to a birthday party. And at first and as I was heading to bed, I was considering it because a headache had crept up on me over the night, and then in the morning it was still there, and I knew, like, logically that all I needed to do was take a painkiller and drink some water. But when I looked at the forecast for that day and the next few days, it was set to be 32 degrees on that Saturday. And the place I work in is poorly ventilated and not air conditioned. So I took the moral high ground of going in would be a detriment to my health, and if I'm not that sick, then going in would definitely make me that sick. So I called in sick to work, and ordinarily they wouldn't ask. Well, they only ask why if they actually think they need me there that day. And this time they did ask why, which is unfortunate. I came to learn the next day that I was one of several people who called in that day. Makes one wonder, why don't they just turn on the bloody air conditioning so people have a better time? But that would never cross their minds. In fact, I don't think they control the air conditioning in the building themselves. I think corporate has a control over that, which is a pretty miserable situation. Anyway, so I called in sick to work, and I did in fact go to that birthday party, which was a load of fun. I always go to the birthday party of my friend whose birthday is in the middle of August. When the actual party happens is pretty random. Usually it falls on a weekend. And I haven't missed a single one since, I dare say, like 2018. It's funny. This person is only my friend because they were dating my one of my close friends at the time, and that's how we became acquainted. But we sort of just started being friends on our own because of our mutual interest in music, which my friend, whom she was dating, had no interest in. He's a bit of an odd fellow in that way. He has no real interest in music or art as, like, intellectual things. He has his favourite games, and his favourite games are not like broad choices, they're very niche and specific, but beyond that he's not very artistically inclined. Anyway, regardless of my friend, I became very close friends with his girlfriend at the time. And because of that, and because of the way he is, I got invited to a birthday party and he didn't, and I've attended every single one ever since. Now, dating her has never once crossed my mind before anybody jumps to the conclusion of that. But the parties she has for her birthday are always the most entertaining event of the summer. Usually. One or two of them has been subpar, but the food is good and the company is good. There's usually a lot of people, and interesting things happen. I recall, I think she had one in 2020, believe it or not, in spite of the situation at the time. And I did go to that one because I said, well, if I'm to get COVID, it may as well be there. And of course everybody was screened and had to take a test before going, but I actually don't think anybody got COVID from that party. At least I didn't. I think halfway through that party I was upstairs with a number of people, and we, in some manner of drunken stupor, spilled a bowl of Cheetos onto the carpet, and I think we got yelled at for it later that week. And I don't know. There was a lot that happened. Either way, parties were very fun, and the previous one was a little bit jarring and not as fun for me, the one from last year, because her friend groups have shifted a bit. There's a lot of people who have moved away, so they haven't been able to attend. And there's a lot of people who have drifted away as relationships have ended, friend groups have split. But she's brought in a lot of new friends from her university and her workplaces. And they're all very interesting people. But I didn't really mesh with them last time. And anybody I did know didn't stick around for long, and I'm always the last one to leave. Always. This is sort of the rule. Yeah, anyway. But this time, same people. Excellent time. It was great. We played a lot of games on the Switch, talked about many things, and at some point we're watching like really poorly animated, low budget knockoff children's movies, like knockoffs of like Pixar films and such. And they were egregious, and I never want to see them again, but it was a good laugh. The party ended sort of, to me, abruptly, but it had gotten to a certain point where I was a little tired, so I was laying down on the floor with the guitar, a pillow under my head, sort of just fiddling quietly as everybody else on the couch was watching Phineas and Ferb. And at some point, like 3 episodes in, I sat up and realized that it was just me, my friend, my other friend who I was to drive home, and my friend's boyfriend. And there, like 4 people had left and I hadn't even noticed. I felt very silly, and shortly after decided to take my leave. But my friend who was to drive home had told me of something interesting. He said that in the bowl of the skate park, some 20 kilometers away, maybe more. Actually, I think it's more like 40, but it's like 20 minutes away. The acoustics of the bowl in the skate park, for those who don't know what that is, it's like an empty pool. It's like if you took all the water out of a pool and rounded out the bottom. It's like that. Oh, I need to drink water, my throat's getting... There we go. Anyway, he told me the acoustics of the thing sounded very cool. And I said, wow, I should definitely check that out. And it was only like 2 or 3 a.m. by the time we had left the party, or the party had died and then we left. So I decided, screw it, go home, grab the acoustic, put it in its bag, put it in the car, and then we drove to the place. I neglected to take the microphone I'm using right now with me. I should have, but I didn't. But I did get to experience the effect he was describing. The effect is if you make a sound near the corner of this pool, like play the guitar or yell or speak, and then move your head sort of near the wall, you can hear it coming linearly, like straight to you from its source, but you can also hear it bouncing off of the wall, creating this sort of pseudo delay reverb stereo effect. That sounds very interesting, and my friend and his friend had set up drums at some point and a dozen microphones to record that effect, and apparently it came out very cool. We hung around in the pool for, in the bowl for, I think, 2 hours. We didn't leave till about 5 a.m. and the entire time I was sort of struggling to sing normally. It felt like the air was choking me a bit, and I just assumed because we were a bit close to the refineries that the air quality was just worse, and like that's why. So around 5 a.m. we left, and some guy, like some random citizen of the town, had come to the skate park at 5 a.m. with a broom to sweep the skate park, and he also had brought 2 skateboards with him, but he sweeped it so it would be all nice to ride on when anybody else gets there, and I thought that was very sweet. Anyway, we drive home, I drop them off, I go home, and then I crash in my bed. Now, the next day, I step outside to go to work, and I notice, oh, the sky is completely grey, I can't see the sun or the clouds, and it's boiling hot outside. See, not only was it 30 degrees outside, in addition to that, there was a haze, smoke, from wildfires that had rolled in. So it wasn't just hot, it was suffocatingly hot, and then I had to go to work. Yeah, work was pretty miserable, if I'm being honest. It was draining and sweaty, like really sweaty. Anyway, nothing else interesting happened until Tuesday, I think. I don't even remember what I did Monday. Anyway, well, did I do anything on Monday? I think I went to bed early on Monday. No. On Sunday. Oh, I can't remember. Well, either way. On Monday, I decided to go to bed early because the next day a Helldivers 2 update would be coming out, and if I woke up early enough I would have time to play with my friends before work. However, much to my dismay, I had forgotten that I had a commitment that day. That commitment being I needed to drive my father to an eye appointment where they would freeze his eyes or something and he wouldn't be able to drive himself. So I drove him to the eye appointment, and it was on the far side of town from where I am, and I had an hour to kill while the doctors did their thing. And with that I went to sort of a local heritage site or landmark, the Antique Mall, which is a large, like, sort of flea market setup. There's all these booths, all these like little sort of 2 meter by 2 meter spaces, where people can put price tags on antiques and such. Anything really, you can sell anything, so long as it fits in the booth, and then people can come up and bring it through the checkout. Apparently it's been around for a very long time, and it's a very interesting place. I stumbled upon it one day when I was working that driving job, and then I decided to visit it in the daytime, and there I found many things. Many things. Actually, I've just realised I didn't stumble upon it because of work. I found it online. I was seeking out a CRT television. I wanted one for some reason. I don't remember for what specific purpose, but I needed one. And I sought it out, and there was a listing on Facebook Marketplace with the seller being listed as the Antique Mall. So I went in some Christmas of, I think, 2021. Yeah, 2021. And I acquired not just one, but 2 CRTs. One for me, one for my sibling. And a few other things, like a stage switchboard for like microphones and such, which is currently unused, but I hope to have a use for it one day. It's just a good thing to have around, I think. But they have so many interesting things there. They have old clothes. Like, when I say old clothes, I mean like stuff as old as like 1940 or even older. And they have like tools and equipment as old as like 1910 or even older. They have lots of old war stuff from like World War I and World War II, but they have typewriters and furniture and records. They have so many records. I actually picked one up when I was there. I will mention what record it is when I get to that. But yeah, there's a lot of porcelain things, vintage lunch boxes, license plates, cameras, and basically anything a person can own can be found in this place. So I decided to kill my time there. And I wandered about the place for a bit, and there were lots of interesting things, like an accordion, which looked very expensive, lots of old leather suitcases, the type you see in movies where people still get around by train. Or like steam locomotive trains, steam engines, like Thomas. Oddly enough, somebody had left a bucket with like a dozen Ellen Joe pins inside of it, which is very odd for an antique mall. But again, people can sell anything they think is worth selling there. So some do make crafts and then put them in their booth. I sort of realised while I was there they had a lot of leather jackets and stuff like that. And I don't usually take interest in leather jackets, but with being full intent on having a motorcycle and riding one regularly at some point here, I figured it'd be necessary for me to acquire actual leather gear of some kind, because it's been like proven to be the best material to prevent road rash. It's just like the most durable thing in that situation. So I sort of took an interest in the leather, but everything there sort of was too big, or wasn't that great, or I didn't like the design or whatnot. So I kept looking, and I came across a vector oscilloscope from who knows when. An extremely old piece of technology by a company that most people probably don't know the name of. And like most people includes me. So I took a picture of it and sent it to one person who might know what it is, and rather than explaining what it is and what it does, he instead sent me $90 to buy it for him, which I of course did. The next thing I bought was, I went looking through the record section hoping they might have The Stranger by Billy Joel, which they didn't because it's a very in-demand record, but they did have, I don't remember what the name of the album is, hold on, I'm going to walk away for a second here. Actually, I think the album is self-titled. Let me cross-reference with Spotify really quick. Okay, yeah. So the album, oh, I think I accidentally shook the mic there. The album and the artist are both called Christopher Cross, or Chris Cross for short. His famous songs are Ride Like the Wind, Sailing, and I think his most famous song is Video Killed the Radio Star, but that might be incorrect. Or actually, maybe that's not his song. Regardless, his music is very, very beautiful and is sort of what I feel is like an ancestor of sorts to the Midnight, with his very 80s sound. Now, unfortunately, he's not an especially attractive person. He's not ugly or anything, but he's not like Michael Jackson or like the guys from uhhhhhhhh or like Elvis or anything, though I don't find any of those people particularly attractive. But by the 1980 with colour television and music video and all that, being physically attractive and or at least physically striking was extremely important for musicians at the time if you wanted to make it. And to a very large degree that's still the case. So him being pretty average looking sort of didn't help him, and because of that he wasn't marketable on video and nobody really picked him up. He has a few albums and his sound is very good, but he never really took off. But he's one of my mum's favourite artists because she really, really really likes the song Sailing because it makes the idea of riding on a sailboat sound so romantic and sweet and soothing, but she has relayed to me that being on a real sailboat is nowhere near that. It's a rocky, nerve-wracking experience, according to her, but I've never been on a sailboat, so I wouldn't be able to tell you that firsthand. I really wish my chair would stop making noises. It's less noisy than the previous one, but this one like creaks and cracks and whatnot. Anyway, the last thing I bought was sort of at the end of my my journey through the entire place. It's quite a large establishment. There's 2 floors, and on the second floor, after looking through like a bunch of old cameras and such, I came across a clothing rack that had a few leather items on it, and it had a leather jacket, but not a black leather jacket, a pure white leather jacket. And I thought, well, the design doesn't look awful, and white's sort of an interesting colour for a leather jacket. I may as well try it on, right? And I take off my overshirt and slip the thing on, and as I do, some woman walks by and says, "Wow, that looks really good on you. Is that 100% real leather?" And I check the tag, and it says, "Yep, 100% real leather." And she's like, "How much is that thing?" And I go, "Well, I think it's like 30 something. I didn't really read the price tag." And she goes, "Wow, what a deal. That's crazy. You should buy it." And I said, "Well, that's what I was thinking." And I checked myself in like a nearby mirror, and yep, it looked pretty good. So I did buy it, and it only cost me $38. It's like a vintage thing. It is 100% real leather, not like synthetic leather or faux leather. Real leather. Yeah, very nice thing. Very happy with that find. I've only ever worn a leather jacket. I do have another one. I think it's a little small on me, but I've only ever worn one other time, and it was a bad day to wear a leather jacket, so I think I might have given myself a little bit of heat stroke. Anyway, that was yesterday, I think. Yeah, that was yesterday. Work was rough, but not that rough. And after work, I went to bed even earlier than I did on Monday, with the hopes of once again waking up early enough to play Helldivers. However, my plans were moderately foiled by the weather. I've come to learn that if it's above 20 degrees, which it has been for the last few days, I will not be able to sleep for more than 2 hours unless I turn the fan on to constantly keep me cold. I don't like having the fan on because it's noisy. But on Monday night and last night, I woke up in not a cold sweat, but a hot sweat. Which is pretty miserable, and now I have to wash everything. So tonight, the fan is staying on the whole time, lest I wake up several hours through my sleep, like halfway through my sleep, completely ruining the whole thing. Now today's Wednesday. What did I do today? Oh, you know what I did do? So I did wake up around noon, which was earlier than I had been on the weekend, and I did end up playing Helldivers, which was great. And after dinner I went out for a drive. And usually when I go out for a drive, it's to get coffee. And I did get coffee, but I sort of just get this like feeling as I yearn for that job I used to have, that I just need to keep driving. So I keep driving and I make arbitrary random turns, and I usually end up on the big ring road, on that fast highway. And right before I was about to get to those lights I've described to you before in the previous video, I decided to turn off onto a road I don't take very often, just before the lights. And I realized then it wouldn't be impossible for me to get a picture of the lights from the neighborhoods that sort of run along the river. So I drove around the neighborhoods there for 2 hours, I think. No, it couldn't have been that long. It was probably just an hour. And I did manage to get the picture, but I was very wary the whole time. I've come to realize that unless I know why, well, unless the reason I'm somewhere seems normal, like if I'm going to a store or what have you, unless I have a normal reason for being there, I don't feel like I should be there, and I'm very wary the entire time. Like the entire time I was in this neighborhood, I was like, I'm not from here. I don't know anybody here. I've never been here. Are people going to question me? Like, what the heck's this guy doing here? So, while it's dark and smoky out, like just driving aimlessly. Why is he parked his car and on the side of the road there? That kind of thing. And I'm so afraid of being confronted about it that sometimes I just keep driving because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, what's that guy doing? And I make it look like I'm just passing through. And I feel this whenever I'm anywhere without a clear objective, like go to this store that's in the area, or go to this person's house that's in the area. Sometimes I get it when I'm in the mall. This feeling of I shouldn't be here, I don't have a reason to be here. I'm out of place in that way. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I've lost my mind? Maybe. Anyway, I did get the picture. I took a few. I'll post them in a community note, I think. Yeah. After I got home, it was a bit late, so I decided just to fiddle around for a while, and fiddling around for a while turned into me locking in on Tower Unite and building for hours. honestly, if I hadn't gotten frustrated with what I was building, I don't know if I would have recorded this till later. But luckily, here we are. Okay, well, aside from what has happened, I've continued constantly listening to Racing Mount Pleasant, and I've also gone back to the band that they're touring with right now, Geese, because Geese's music is very, very interesting. Their vocalist has an extremely unique singing style and voice, though it's a little country and punky, so I can understand why a lot of people wouldn't want to listen to it. Still, it's very interesting. I swear to God, I've listened to the Racing Mount Pleasant album 20 times now. It's once a day, if not twice a day. I have to see them live. I have to. I learned 2 of their songs. Well, technically 3, but I know one by heart now. And I think actually, right now, I think I'm going to play it. I injured my thumb that I use for strumming. Hopefully that doesn't impede me too much. It's just a minor flesh wound. Just making sure the thing's in tune. That's right. It's always these high strings. There we go. Okay. Right, I think the song's called You. I'm going to verify that. Hold on. Yep, it's You by Racing Mount Pleasant. Anyway, now the song, my voice is still a little croaky from smoke inhalation. And actually I should probably drink water before I sing. Okay. Goodness. Nope, that didn't help at all. Alright. The song is sung in falsetto, but I don't particularly like singing in falsetto. So, yeah. Frick. Oh, mess up the first chord, why don't you? Yeah. Smart. Christmas starts in your eyes, heavy as your father looms. I'll breathe for you, you don't have to move. Recognizable hands, stripped and chipped. Here I'll hold you, you don't have to move. No one really knows. She's drunk when she's in love. Hold your hands above your head, just as your mother said. I'll dance for you, you don't have to move. Tomorrow'll be alright. Tell me one more time. I can drive you, you don't have to move. No one really knows. She's drunk when she's in love. No one really knows. She's drunk when she's in love. No one really knows. She's drunk when she's in love. No one really knows. She's home when she's in love. I'm so tempted to pause the recording and check how that sounded. But I don't know. Let me get the lyrics. For the other one, I technically know, though it's very... I played it on the outside recording, the previous video. It's the one that goes like... Oh, oopsies. And I can like technically play it. It's just very rocky, but I figure may as well try. May as well follow up the Racing Mount Pleasant one with another Racing Mount Pleasant one. So. How do you do the things you do? Does it take to clean your room? You must be feeling pretty good. We can now see it in the way you move. Is it alright? Will it be alright? You're always right. I missed a bit there, but it's fine. Things sound great like I knew they would. Helps out just fine judging by the view. But you're gonna have to choose real soon. I know what you meant to say. It's okay. Things have been okay since you left the state. Things have been alright till yesterday. Have you heard the news? Is it alright? Will it be alright? You're always right. It's quite rough. I've been getting odd cramps in my left hand as of late, working at the end of the fretboard, which is really unfortunate, and I hope they stop happening, but it makes certain songs a little difficult. Now, I think it's because the positioning for this one is almost an F chord, which is almost a bar chord, and that's where my hands start hurting, so it's like right on the edge of the thing that actually hurts my hand. Anyway, I want to look something up. I accidentally nudged the mic there. I'm better at typing with my right hand than I am with my left, I think. One-handed. Well, actually, no, that's not true. How's this one going? Right, yeah, there's no way of playing that. I can try this one. Comments say anything? No. So this is the chord pattern. Why do I feel like that's not it? Oh, whatever. That's it. I don't know the paces for the chord changes. Probably that. Rain's warm, take... oh wait. Rain's warm, take it slow. How's that go? Rain's warm, take it slow. Till you feel the afterglow. Like this when your body flows. Tired of your silken clothes. There we go. I think I have to turn on the auto scroll. And of course the website's glitching out. Okay. Silken clothes. No, knowing you I will be. Maybe in a week or so, make you feel cold clarity. rain's warm, take it slow. I'm in the way, I'm in the way, in the way of you. I'm in the way, I'm in the way, in the way of you. I'm in the way, I'm in the way, in the way of you. I'm in the way, I'm in the way, I'm in the way of you. Tell me that I'm good for you. You run around with holes in your shoes. Let me wallow in your afterglow. Hold tight a stone's throw. Do you think I'm pretty? You're absolute in all that you do. There's ice inside your kidneys, my bad. Think of fire, you'll stay warm. I'm in the way, I'm in the way, in the way of you. I'm in the way, I'm in the way, in the way of you. I'm in the way, I'm in the way, in the way of you. I'm in the way, I'm in the way, in the way of you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What was I supposed to do? Run away from you. I'm so sorry. How am I supposed to pretend I don't know you? Of course I think you're pretty with your pretty smile and your brown hair. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That one's a bit rough because I haven't really practiced it. And the second half of the song, this is the closing song called Do You Think I'm Pretty, off of their first album when they were still going as Kingfisher. You should be able to find it just by looking up Racing Mount Pleasant there. The outro has layered vocals, so there's like a choir of people going, I'm so sorry, and then there's like the main guy who's sort of talking over it, panicking, like the choir's going like, I'm so sorry on beat, like, I'm so sorry, then, hold on. I'm so sorry. Right before the chord progression restarts, they go, I'm so sorry. And then the other guy is like sort of interjecting in the middle of the progression. So it's just a little difficult to do both at the same time. But I really like the lines he has in this because they're callbacks to other songs, like other lyrics in the album, which is my favourite thing artists can do, is like reuse a lyric to sort of emphasize it and bring it to the point and make a connection to that other song. Cavetown did this with Home and another one of his songs, which I can't remember what the other song is, but one of his very early songs both use the lyric, get a load of this monster, or get a load of this monster, doesn't know how to communicate, his mind is in a different place with everybody, please give him a little bit of space. I'm shaking too much. That's the first song that uses it. Either way, he uses that more than once, which sort of draws a connection between the two songs, or rather calls back to a younger version of himself, which I think is very cool. Yeah, and the line in this one that, or rather the only one I've noticed the callback on is, of course I think you're pretty, with your pretty smile and your brown hair and blue eyes, and that's like something he says in another one of the songs. Clearly this is about somebody, and for that, this might be one of my favourite songs ever, if I'm being honest. The chorus outro bit goes so hard. It's so good. I love this band. To think I only found out about them like a week and a half ago. Now this one I'm extremely reluctant to try and play. How's that go? I'm listening to it through headphones with a chord sheet in front of me, because I want to see. That's the one. Oh, come on. I don't know what it takes to breathe. You know, I think this is perfectly playable if I have like the thing in front of me. We'll try this. I've never done this before, where I have the song playing in my ear while I'm playing it on here. Usually I just have like at most the chord sheet with the lyrics, but we'll try this. We'll try this just this one time, special occasion. Hello. Me from 10 seconds in the, well, not 10 seconds, like 5 minutes in the future. That was a bad idea. I let the lyrics slip by me a dozen times, so instead I've gotten just the chord sheet and the lyrics as I usually would have. And hopefully we can use this. Anyway. Takes to breathe. You know, someday I'll find a way to see. You hold. It's not as easy as you seem to think. I try. You just ignore how much you lie. That night, all night, slipping up quite a bit. The strain's on my pinky, because that's the one that's barring down most of the chords. Call it easy, call it quits. The noise you make sounds at the hollow of your head, see your body painted red. Well, that's not how your story ends. No, that's not how it goes either. That's not how the song goes. Some way, somehow you will know me. Some way, somehow you will feel me. Some way, somehow you will know me. Some way, somehow I will. And call it easy, call it quits. The noise you make sounds out the hollows on your head. See your body painted red. Well, that's not how your story ends. And then there's a 3-minute sax solo for the rest of the song. I had to play that song a lot quieter than one might ordinarily. Set the guitar down. Because that song gets really loud. And as my autopiloting brain and voice are so tempted to do, I have to restrain myself consciously to not scream out, call it easy, call it quits. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it here, sort of after that one. I'd love to end it on a song that I can play well. Now that I've said that, I'm going to make sure there isn't a song here that I can play well that I'm like skipping over. No, don't want to look too far into it. Okay, that's what I'm calling it for this one. If you fell asleep to this, comment it. It's so much more fun when people comment, and I do appreciate every comment regardless of how short or long they are. If you're falling asleep right now, be careful, autoplay is not on. Who knows what YouTube will decide is the greatest video to play after this, because it's not guaranteed to be ASMR. And if you don't have YouTube Premium and you're listening on a phone, chances are you're going to get an ad on whatever's next, and that ad's not going to be very quiet either. So I highly advise you turn off autoplay and your phone. If you're just waking up to this, good morning. I think the next video will be a morning one, if I can manage that. At least a daytime one, where I can record louder songs. Yeah, we'll have fun with it. The next one should be by Friday, or should be on Friday. I think that's what I'm planning for. Yeah. And if I forget to post those images somehow, though I've just remembered to, yell at me in the comments, please, and I will post them as soon as I see. Yeah. Anyway, good night. Bye-bye.